One last topic I wanted to talk about because the world is literally on fire. There's been quite an uprising. One of my journalists just got beat up and had his teeth knocked out covering it yesterday.
Goodness.
Um, there are mass demonstrations going on in the UK, and these are not the left. These are UK born and bred citizens who are tired of getting ventilated by mass immigration or their children. I feel like this.
I don't actually know much about this particular case. It was on the news earlier, but I was so busy I didn't get a chance to really check it out, and I didn't get a chance to Google it or anything.
I will TLDR it for you because I have
Yeah.
two boots on the ground right now covering. So if people aren't following at the Publica now on Twitter or X, we posted a whole slew of on the ground footage yesterday of locals essentially rioting. So it was a few days ago, I want to say Friday, that now I can't confirm or deny if they were yelling the thing while they were doing it, the snack bar thing. Maybe chat can confirm that. But the
Probably were.
17-year-old son of Rwandan migrants grabbed a pokey stick and took the life of 3 kids, 6 years old, 7 years old, and 9 years old. Then also put, I believe, 6 others in critical condition. This is like, and then again, another, religion of peace person.
That gun control is working in the UK quite clearly.
Right. Just another person was also arrested later that night. Another religion of peace person with a knife. But so kids at a learn how to dance like Taylor Swift thing. So the people in the UK are like, look at these kids. Imagine, I mean, it is so unfathomable, right? The thing is, by the way, he was taken alive, of course, where he'll go to prison and be more
he
radicalized.
didn't die.
Right. So, ultimately, the people of the UK are sick and tired of literally having their kids or this stuff happen to them like every other week. It's all the time. We have somebody. Go ahead.
I'm not allowed under YouTube TOS to suggest bringing back the guillotine.
Yeah. And what the problem is like their leadership is all compromised, and they keep lying about who the person was. Right? They said, oh, it was a 17-year-old male. Like, oh, well, you just know. A lot of white guys doing stabbing attacks over in the UK. Like, this is a common occurrence there now. I don't want to hear anything from my brothers and sisters in the UK about, a gun problem in America. You guys have it's obviously more people in America, but I mean, you have an ongoing crisis of people going on these sprees and they're taking your children. And that's why people are marching in the streets. Their government is lying. And we talked about it. A female politician or a journalist, I can't remember who, in Germany was put in prison for publishing crime statistics. Why? Because it's almost always migrants. It is almost always migrants.
Well, when you deprive a group of people of their ability to defend themselves, if it's a homogenized community and everyone pretty much respects the rules, that can work. But then when an outside group comes in, whatever group that happens to be, that is not familiar with those laws, with those rules, with that way of life, you're going to get fucking problems. It is inevitable. You cannot avoid it.
These people do not want to assimilate.
It would be like if a bunch of Americans started migrating to Uganda. They're not used to the idea that you can't own a firearm for personal defense. They're not used to the idea that you can't express yourself freely. You're going to get people breaking the law. There will be violence. And that's just a group of Americans,
This is there are numerous cases that will prove this. And so this is why they're rioting. This is in France alone. 77% of all cases of people, men taking advantage of women are done by foreigners. 77%.
What percentage of when female teachers perv on their 12-year-old students?
Yeah, right,
Because
right,
we've
right.
seen there's a problem with that in the United States as well.
Yeah, that seems like that problem's getting worse, don't you think? It seems like we're seeing more of it lately.
I think people are focusing more on it. It was always the same,
It's
but
good
people are
clickbait.
noticing it. People are noticing it more.
I mean, you point this out. I remember like some ordinary gamers, Mudahar was like, point to any evidence that all these migrants are doing bad things in France. And I proceeded to post like 100 videos and crimes. Like I proceeded to completely bury him. This is all migrants from countries, from third world countries, backwards countries who do not want to
Yeah.
integrate. They want to conquer you. There's all you've seen these famous interviews. They're like, haha, these whites here in Europe have one kid. I come here, we have 10 kids. This country will be Muslim in 100 years. They're not
Yeah,
playing.
some of them openly brag about it.
I'm saying that's a real video.
They've been literally posting that online since what? Fucking 2005 or something.
Right.
Well, you people are decadent, weak, and retarded, you know.
Right.
Bye.
We have 20 children, you have one, and we take what we want, and you will do nothing about it. And meanwhile, overweight white women in their leadership are covering for them. And that's why people are rioting on the streets. They're like, how many times?
They want some dick, you know?
Yeah, right. They want that, but they got desert fever or something like that. But they, and they just ignore it and they ignore it, and their government does nothing. This is the same thing. People ask who's paying for this. That's a fair question. It's not just one person that's paying for this, but it's all covered by these huge mega global organizations that are funded by people
and
like
also
Soros.
the Saudi government and certain other entities encourage it openly. Can I give you a combination white and black pill here?
Yeah.
I don't think that Caucasians are going to be displaced in their countries.
No.
That's the good news.
Yeah.
The bad news is that the methodology by which they won't be displaced is when things popped off the last time that white people really got driven over the edge, what happened?
Yep. Yeah.
Millions of people died.
Yeah.
We Caucasians can develop many wonderful things. We can also be violent, like any other group of people can be. When you're on your own territory, things can get really, really dicey, really, really quick. You know, our friend Adolf sort of that.
Ask yourself this question: why does Saudi Arabia have a well-protected border wall? They know.
Because they got shit tons of money.
Right. They got tons of money and they don't want these. Saudi Arabia, another Muslim nation, doesn't want these people. They're sending them, they're paying to send them right over to Europe. And Europe's like, this is great. Cameron says, Jeremy, you should have Tommy on your show. I've had Tommy on my show. I don't know why everyone's calling him a Mossad agent now. No, every time I post support of him, my replies are getting filled with that.
If you step out of line from the fifth columnists in any way, then you're automatically you're a Jew or you're or something like that.
Oh, okay. Because I see Tommy Robinson as an absolute hero.
We're both Jews as well, because we don't always agree with certain audiences out there, so we're automatically Jewish.
Well, where's my money, big Jew?
I thought we were the chosen people and shit.
Yeah, where's my money?
I feel like Rev Tevye.
Yeah, like see someone in chat says Tommy is a Zionist. What? Like, I've never seen any of that from him. But okay, anyway.
He does support the nation of Israel, but it's like, okay, yeah, but who's fucking up his country?
Yeah, is it because he hates Muslims so much? Yeah.
I won't say it out loud on a YouTube live stream.
Yeah, that might be what it is. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Yeah, I think that ultimately people in the UK have had enough, and you're going to see real bad behavior breaking out. Yeah. You're going to see people rounded up, I think. I'm not calling for that. I'm saying I see these people and they have had enough of their kids getting ended, and it's always the same people every single time.
There are certain groups of people in the world that you really don't want to militarize and become like really violent.
Yeah.
And the British are one of them. They're like hobbits. It's really hard to get them mad. They're sort of like Canadians in that sense. But if you piss them off, then they'll just fucking destroy your entire civilization and take over your entire country. So
Yeah.
be careful what you wish for, because they're decadent, but they're not complacent. There is an undercurrent of rage that I sense in a lot of people in Europe that really genuinely concerns me. Because when Europeans pop off, then all of a sudden, again, you have world wars and shit like that.